Jon Abrahams, actor and director known for Scary Movie, The Terrifier 3, Kids, Meet the Parents, and so much more. John, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
And also you're coming to the Days of the Dead Con November 21st through the 23rd in Rosemont. And this is
Yes,
your first time in Chicagoland, am I correct?
ever. And I'm born and raised in New York City, so it's weird. I've been, to Minneapolis, I've been to Detroit. I've never been to Chicago. So,
Do you have a list of restaurants, things you got to see? You're going to be here for a couple of days. I mean, have people started giving you some suggestions?
well, yes. I got to go get a hot dog, right? I got to get
Yeah.
a Chicago hot dog. There's so much I want to do, but I'm going to be kind of just working out by O'Hare, so I'm going to have to make a mission at least one day and try and do stuff.
And try to get, there's some great restaurants in the Rosemont area. So you'll be able to get like the Chicago experience while you're out there.
Okay, I'll need some recommendations.
Yeah, I'll send you some recommendations. And also, obviously pizza is a big thing here and obviously a big thing in New York as well too. So I'm not going to ask you your choices, but we do have some nice selections here in case you.
Listen, let my mind be changed.
There we go. And obviously, let's go ahead and start with the big news. Obviously, Scary Movie, 25 years. We got to see the first one. You were a big part of that film and you're returning for the new film. I mean, this is so
I
exciting.
know. So exciting. So exciting.
How long did you have to keep that a secret?
The past 90 days or so, I would say.
Okay.
But everywhere I go, people are like, "Are you going to be in the new one? Are you going to be in the new one? Are you going to be in the new one?" And I've resorted to just saying, "Well, you'll just have to go to the theater and find out." So
And those were just the
now,
messages from me. Yeah, right?
yeah, exactly. You heard it here first, folks.
That is amazing because obviously we got to hear that it was going to be Regina Hall, or it was going to be Brenda and Cindy's story. That was kind of be the premises of it. Obviously, everyone's mind starts wandering of like who is else is going to join. What other characters are we going to see? So it's exciting that not only does some of the original cast come back, we're also getting some new cast members as part of
Yeah,
this film.
yeah. Well, I can tell you this: you will not be disappointed, folks. You will not be disappointed. The Wayans family will not let you down.
That is amazing. I mean, 25 years ago, I mean, I remember seeing the film in the theaters, laughing, my face off and getting ready to buy a ticket the next day to go see it again. And it was a movie that we talked about, but, we didn't have that social media platform and that buzz, that we have now with films. I mean, talk a little bit about
Totally.
when the cast knew, like, oh, we have something, really special here.
On the first one,
Yeah, on the first one.
it was kind of crazy because I was a big fan of the Wayans family growing up. And, like I'm gonna get you, sucker was my favorite movie uh back in the day. And so for me, I was like very aware of their potential. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me personally, I was there every day thinking like this is going to be the funniest thing ever and like the greatest movie. I don't think we any of us knew it would be the success it was, and it's just amazing. I mean, here we are 25 years later, and it's like, not a day goes by where someone's not like, "Oh, Bobby, Bobby," or it's just an amazing legacy to be part of. You
And,
know.
it, and a text chain with Anna Faris, Regina Hall, anybody else, has that started yet, or are we still kind of too early for that?
A text chain.
Yeah.
There's not a major group thread, but there are some like satellite group threads.
Oh, that that
Yeah,
that
I'll say
that
that.
you'll say that.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream? And as you got the role of Bobby, I mean, was that kind of that preparation? Or you're like, I know who this character is going to be, and I know the funny twist that we're going to put on him.
Totally. So I'm a big horror fan. Always have been since I was a tiny child. And um I was aware of Scream and I was aware of I Know What You Did Last Summer because they were huge movies back then. Um, but we had to like they gave us all VHS copies, not to date myself, but they gave us all VHS copies of both films and they were like just watch this over and over and over again. And the Wayans family is very collaborative and they have a unique way of doing things, which is that they bring everybody about a week early and they give you out questionnaires to fill out about your character, and then they take those back and they look at them, and if there's things that they think are funny they write it in. So uh I wrote a lot of that stuff in there having just watched Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer like 100 times, you know, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s like kind of aloofness in I Know What You Did Last Summer is something that I like latched onto for Bobby. You can see it when like Anna's getting beat up and I'm just kind of like, hey, stop it, Greg. You know, if you watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, he's just like strangely somewhere else a lot of the time. So I latched onto that, and then there's sort of like a seething sexuality
Yeah.
to Billy Loomis and Skeet Ulrich, and so like I kind of latched onto that, and sort of we just went from there in terms of like how much of a pervert is this guy and how lusty is he and all that stuff. So
Yeah, you definitely did nail that part. And you said you live in that because it was like a little bit like, you want to trust him. It's a little bit sexy. It's a little bit he's going to kill me. You didn't know like which angle you were going to take, and that was the beauty of that. There was also a viral interview that came out earlier this year that Freddie Prinze Jr. had said he had never seen Scary Movie, which I think is just like bizarre. But
huh.
hopefully he's seen it at this point. But did you ever get people from some of those other movies when they saw it, when they saw a Scary Movie, like this was so funny, or did you get any compliments on that?
I mean, I've met a lot of the Scream people,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm oftentimes on the road with Dave Sheridan from Scary Movie, and in fact, he will also be at Days of the Dead Chicago with me this weekend, as well as Lachlan Monroe. But uh, yeah, I mean, when we're on the road, we run into a lot of these guys, and it's interesting to watch David Arquette and Dave Sheridan interact. You know,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, but they're all lovely guys. I mean, they're great.
yeah,
And I think I don't know how you could not have a sense of humor about it. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Oh,
that would be weird to me. But I do remember, before the movie got made, there were a lot of actors in town that were like, that had turned it down because, they wanted to maintain a serious vibe. So,
and now they're all trying to call Marlon and on the phone
right,
trying to get a
exactly,
part in the.
exactly. Well,
And you talk.
nowadays it's a whole new ball game. Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah.
new ballgame. And you talked a
Yeah.
little bit about Dave Sheridan and David Arquette. Are you new to the kind of con circuit, or is this just new to Chicago as far as
Um,
like meeting fans and things like that?
oh no, I'm new to Chicago.
Okay.
I definitely do conventions and I started doing them a few years back, and I love doing it. I mean, I wanted to work in makeup effects when I was a kid. And so my dad used to take me to like all these horror movies, and I was obsessed with horror movies from a very young age. So I used to go to these conventions and like follow Tom Savini around. So I love doing them because it's just really great to be amongst, people that also appreciate the genre and all the facets of it. And, you know, connecting with fans is amazing. It's amazing, you know.
That is awesome. And I'm sure you probably get tattoos and posters and just memorabilia or memories or things that
Well,
people
I'll,
want to
I'll
share or
show
talk
you a
about.
tattoo I got at a convention. Hold on.
Okay.
See if we can get this in camera.
Ah, I love it. That is
There
amazing.
you go.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness. That is
Yep.
so cool.
So, yes, I also partake when they are tattoo conventions in getting tattoos.
And getting that. You mentioned, being a fan of the makeup, and you posted a photo of Terrifier 3 and like the prosthetic face that you were holding around. Did you get to keep that? I mean, what was that like to be able to look at your face in that kind of a version?
Yeah, it's very surreal. It's also very surreal because in Terrifier 3, that effect ends up being an animatronic. And so it's really spooky to see an animatronic of yourself, as I'm sure you can imagine. And then, I watched them do the final kind of tearing of my face off of the animatronic and all that stuff. And, it was just a very surreal moment. You're like, I don't know whether to like laugh or cry, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I bet.
Um,
Hopefully, you got a little bit of both of those moments.
oh, always. Always, for sure. I've died a lot in movies, so you know, yeah.
This is your home. These are your people. I'm glad you're gonna, come here to
They
Chicago
like to
because,
kill me. What can I say?
and it seems like you're comfortable with that. You're like, I know, I
Yeah,
know my sweet spot, and this is, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm into it. I'm a nerd for makeup effects, so like, I'm like, go ahead, put
yeah.
it on me. Let's do it.
Let's talk a little bit about your very first film, Kids. That was a wild film. It still gets talked about so many times, and new generations are discovering that film. I mean, talk a little bit
Definitely.
about being so young. Obviously, Rosario Dawson, Chloe Sevigny in the film as well too, but just the impact of that. You being at a young age and just seeing it still kind of live on, with audiences.
It's incredible. I mean, it's another legacy that it's just I'm so amazed daily that I got to be part of. I didn't, none of us were actors at the
No,
time. That was sort of the rule for for Larry and Harmony. And so, they would just walk around downtown Manhattan, which is where I'm from, and they would just go up to every kid and be like, "Do you want to audition for this movie?" And so I ended up being in the movie, and none of us, like, I thought I was just like, hey, this is cool. I like movies. I'm interested in filmmaking. Like, you know, this is like a cool art movie. I didn't think it was going to get the sort of worldwide eye that it got and all the sensation and all that stuff. But it's an incredible film. Like, it really is. I mean, it's truly a horror film, honestly. A truly horrific, I should
yeah,
say. But yeah, I don't watch it often, but like every 5 years or so I'll watch it and I'm just the older I get, the more gutted by it I get, you
yeah.
know? Yeah,
Yeah,
for
especially those
sure.
first couple scenes, really stick with you and they follow you throughout the entire film. And it's been a couple years since I've seen it. I feel like I got to go back and watch it.
You should.
I,
You should. Yeah.
I do watch Scary Movie every year because every time around like Halloween, I'm like, I want to watch Scream. I'm in the mood for Scream, and I'll get about 15 minutes in, and I was like, I think I'm ready for Scary Movie. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
sit this whole film. It's time to go back to that. Yeah,
Like one of my favorite things at these shows are I meet people all the time and they're like, "Oh, I saw Scary Movie before I saw Scream. So when I saw Scream, I thought Scary Movie was
yeah,
what they were parodying, you
yeah.
know?" So yeah, I love that.
And
It's
I'm sure
awesome.
that happens more as like obviously if you're a Gen X or older and you grew up with those films, you saw them in that sequential order. But being an 18-year-old now, a 21-year-old now watching it with your friends, you may not watch it in that order. You may just say like, "Here's this movie," and then yeah, that's such an interesting point.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for your time today. This has been awesome. Cannot wait for you to be in Chicago November 21st through the 23rd. Crown Plaza
Me too.
Hotel in Rosemont. daysofthedead.com for those tickets. We got some meet and greets, autographs. What else? Tell me a little bit of what else you're doing at the convention.
I think we're doing a scary movie trio panel on
Okay.
Saturday. So everybody come for that. There's scary movie photo ops. So y'all can come get photos with all three of us. And we are all returning for Scary Movie 6. And this will be my first show since that news was announced. So come talk to us, come ask questions. We'll try to answer them in a cryptic way.
As you should at a convention called Days of the Dead, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. You're the best. Thank you so much for your time today, and I will see you in Chicago very soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Ciao, y'all.
Thank you.
Peace. I need your recommendations.